Hey guys, nice to see you. Stephen Mackinday from Perfect Balance Clinic. Today I'm here to talk to you about a very difficult condition to manage at the best of times, but it's made even more difficult when your diagnosis isn't very clear. So one of the key things that we see presenting in the clinic, and we see lots of this, so we see lots of people just like you presenting with what's called lateral epicondylitis, or the famous tennis elbow. So tennis elbow problems affect not just tennis players, but they can affect people that do typical desk jobs and other kind of repetitive activities, where the muscles or tendons become quite overloaded on the outside of the elbow, and they become chronically inflamed. So you end up with this chronic inflammatory situation where the tendons begin to degenerate, and there's lots of debate whether there's inflammation there or there's not inflammation there, but under histological examination, you see some inflammatory markers or inflammatory cells there, which predominantly occur as a result of microtrauma to the tissue and repetitive injury. So you see this case occurring lots in people who do repetitive activities. So your desk job may be affecting you, or it's actually quite rare in tennis players, I find anyway, because they tend to be better conditioned and they're doing the repetitive activities, but also doing a good strength and conditioning program to help them with their just forearm strength. And because they're playing so much, their muscles become adaptive to it as well. So that's a little known fact. So one of the key things that we look for when we see cases of tennis elbows is not just the elbow that's causing the problem. So we always try and screen out the wrist joints, because that can often cause problems up in the elbow, and the shoulder complex as well. So that can refer pain down into the elbow. Or if the movement's limited in the shoulder movement, it can overstrain the elbow. So if you don't have much rotation in any of these directions, you're effectively going to overstrain the muscles in the elbow here. So that's a key thing that we look out for. But one of the common things that we see a lot of is cases of tennis elbow or pain on the outside of the elbow here, where it's been misdiagnosed or not examined or looked at thoroughly enough, where the problem's actually coming from the neck here. So the key thing to look out for if you think you've got a tennis elbow which could be coming from the neck is if you've got any numbness or pins and needles that are running down coincident with pain at the elbow here. So if you have a minor tennis elbow or you have a neck injury, sometimes the two can become very confused together, and that's what we're looking for. We specialise in these cases at Perfect Balance, where we take a good thorough case history with people. We try and understand where their problem's coming from and how their problem's got there, so that we can find a good solution to get them from here to here, to be able to get some great results and get them back on the tennis court or get them back behind their desks as quickly as possible. Now, if you have had tennis elbow before, you'll know just as much as I do that it's really important to look at the environmental factors that affect your working environment, so how you're sitting and typing, your grip or racket handle, to make sure it's the right grip or racket handle, so when you're playing tennis, you're not overstraining the muscles here as well. So they're two things that I think you should look out for if you do have or think you might have tennis elbow. The third thing is to make sure that it is tennis elbow and it's not coming from your neck, your shoulder or your wrist joint. So if you need help or advice, just leave your details in the box below and someone will get back to you as soon as possible with hopefully some helpful advice that will be able to get you guys from here where you've got problems to getting back to doing what you love doing best. So don't forget, Stephen Mackinday at Perfect Balance Clinic. We're here to help you guys get as better as quickly as possible. Have a great day. Bye bye.